Good day, friends. I hope everyone's well. I'm Franky. This is Mexi,
Hello, guys.
and this is the Think Tank. So I'm really curious, Mexi, what are you thinking is going on with this extradition? There is so much to talk about. I don't even know where to start.
Well,
Hey,
first of all,
Jessica, Shauna,
Happy New Year, everyone.
and
Happy New
Happy New
Year.
Year.
It's 2023. I'm
Wow.
really happy that they made an arrest before,
Yeah,
that's a good way to
yeah,
start the
it is.
2023 year. Yeah.
Yeah. And Happy New Year, Dandy. Good to see you guys. Really is. Wow. 2023. Unreal. Unreal. And you said it just before Christmas. You got your wish. You were going on
I
holidays. And
did.
yeah, that's awesome. That
All
is
I wanted for
awesome.
Christmas was like an arrest in this case. I was like,
Yeah.
please. And it
And what
happened.
was it? The day you were headed back or the day before you
Yeah.
headed back?
Yeah.
It
The day
was
before
like,
Friday. Yeah.
oh my God. And you and I were talking behind the scenes for a little while, and I am still kind of hello slinging. Um, I'm still kind of shocked.
Surprised. Yeah.
I'm the
It's a good shock.
surprise.
Yeah, it's a good shock.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Wow. And now we're finding out that he did this. Most likely, he did this alone. So what do you think of that?
Um, as far as like his statement or I mean,
As
I
far
don't
as
know
it
if he
being
actually made that
one
comment, but
person,
yeah, I
what do
don't
you
know if
think
he
of just
made that.
one person being charged with this and somebody not from around there?
Mm, not surprising
No, hey?
because I mean, I've always like it's hard to keep a secret between two people, like the more people involved,
Yep,
different personalities, somebody was likely t- to talk. So,
right. I agree 100%.
and he seems like the kind of person, I don't know, this is just my opinion. He seems like the kind of person that just really a lone wolf kind of guy. Like he rather just
Yeah,
do it himself
yeah,
and
yeah,
like make sure
yeah.
things are right. I know that sounds messed up, but
Oh, I think he planned everything down to like getting caught even. In
yeah,
my mind, this guy
he's really
thinks
thought about
he's,
it.
yeah. And I think he honestly believes that he can beat this. I think he just thinks he's Dexter and John Bundy or John Bundy, Ted Bundy, all rolled up in one ball.
Yeah, he's like exactly the kind of person that I would want to punch in the face. Like, just like you're like in a room and he just thinks like
Yeah,
he's like the smartest, most brilliant, most interesting person, and you just
right.
want to just punch him right in his mouth, like just right in
Yeah,
the
yeah. I call it bitch slapping.
corner.
It's like, oh my God, like it's just to me, it's like the arrogance, even in
Yeah.
his that
Yeah,
picture
Shauna,
he had.
exactly. Smug, just
Smug ass. Yeah,
mhm.
absolutely. And that picture that I'm going to
Oh,
show
yeah,
it
that you
again.
yeah.
Let's see here.
Guys, this is creepy.
Like,
So, like, if you put your hand, like, cover the bottom half of their faces
yeah.
and just look at their
Yeah.
eyes, like, they look
Uh,
identical. Just from, like,
oh,
the eyes up, just
oh, like, and they're
even the
deadpan.
smile, that little fucking
A little bit of a
smirkish,
grin. Yeah.
weird I don't know what that is, because that's
Oh
not
my
like a duper's delight. I don't know what that is, like, it's creepy.
arrogance, like arrogance. It's like how, like I said earlier, like I think that he's the kind of guy that will go, yeah, I want to be involved in everything as far as this case
Yes.
goes. Because
Yeah.
I think in his mind he's prepared for, everything. He just, yeah. And another thing, you had a lot of this right, friend. Like You did. Like, I remember when we were going through, Google Earth there for a while.
Mhm.
You're like, "Well, look at how close they are to this other maybe there's" and I'm like, "Oh, maybe."
Yeah, 2 big college towns right next to each other. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're looking at one, why aren't you looking at the other? It's and a lot of
It's
and this
true.
guy obviously probably doesn't shit where he eats.
Exactly.
So it would make
Exactly.
sense that he would maybe target the next,
Yep.
big town
Yep.
over.
So and another thing that has come out is he was stalking them. Hiya, James. Good to see you. Stalking, what do you think?
I so here's the thing that also kinda creeps me out a little bit. If he's really
Mhm.
thought about all of this, right?
Mhm.
And he was stalking them, you would think that he was also by default stalking their immediate circle of friends, such as
Oh,
boyfriends like Jack
right.
Decor,
Yeah.
the other
Yeah.
what was his name? Jake or Jack
Oh,
Madison's.
American Psycho vibes,
Yeah.
right? It's like, oh
So
my
what
goodness.
like how are we the thought popped in my head like if he was stalking them, obviously by default he was stalking the next immediate close people as well.
Yeah.
Is it possible that he could have planted other people's maybe DNA or
Oh, I didn't think about that, but you know what? It's possible, right? I'll be interested to see. There's another thing I'm interested about is whether or not that house that's at the bottom of the property there, when we
Mhm,
went on Google Earth, that was like fine, even after they blurred that house, 1122. Even after they blurred that one, that other one that's on the road was still good for a while. And then all of a sudden they blurred that house out as well.
mhm.
So I
I'm
just,
not kinda curious about that. I don't think it's a relative of his. I'm more
okay,
than certain that he does have siblings, but I think they're both older,
okay,
and they're
okay,
nowhere near Moscow.
okay,
Um,
okay.
so I think maybe that house, maybe the girls or whoever lived in that house maybe just did it ask Google, because you can ask Google yourself to
Oh, that's right.
blur things
Yeah.
out, so
So maybe it was just one of those lovely rumors that was going around because I have
yeah.
not honestly, the other house blurred probably the sister. Yeah, that's kind of what we're trying to figure out. Like,
Yeah,
I,
that's I know he has siblings, but I like I said, I think they're both older than he is,
yeah,
and I don't think they're anywhere near Moscow. But oh my God, guys, this guy has like
mhm.
literally no footprint.
No footprint. Oh my word.
I tried like actually searching, we both did for him,
Yeah,
and he has no,
nothing. Not a phone number, not an address, nothing. Not
not a bad credit report.
or a good one. Like, there's
Yeah,
just
it's just
absolutely nothing. Like, the man does not exist.
yeah.
I've never seen such a thing. I wouldn't be surprised if he'd been around the house before. That's what I think too, James. I think
Mhm.
he's been around that. Well, and they're saying that he stalked them for a few weeks.
Yeah.
So, something when I think about him stalking those kids, I remember seeing
Ugh,
thinking of the grub I
creepy.
get thinking about that grub truck
Mhm,
and how you could see that white car in the
mhm.
window, the reflection of it go by. So, like,
Is this like the possible
is that
stalker
possible?
Kaylee was
Yeah.
talking about? I mean,
Yeah. Oh, there's an older sister,
yeah, I think
and
he has
she's
2
not
older sisters. One of them's actually, a therapist, not like a right, like a psychologist, a
oh,
therapist, psychologist, something like that, and She works with kids in New Jersey.
Okay.
I don't know. This guy's this can't be.
His
This might have
first?
been like his first killings, but this dude has to have some kind of peeping Tom, breaking and entering
Something.
thing, and he's just like never been caught. Like, I'd be really interested in knowing if there's any like
So,
peeping Tom situations in Pennsylvania or something like that.
right?
Hmm.
I'm going to see. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to bring this up really fast. I don't know if
Yeah,
anybody,
Shauna, there was something I think, and I don't know how true this is, but apparently Olivia, Chronicles of Olivia,
right?
she got in with the family.
Right.
So I think she's going to be doing or releasing like an interview that she had with them
Okay.
probably tomorrow, I think. Um,
Okay.
but she did kind of mention that like the mother had said a story about when Kaylee and Jack broke up, she went on a date with someone, and
Okay.
called
Okay.
her the
Uh-oh.
B word, like, bitch, make me a quesadilla.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like they're making quesadillas or
Oh,
something, and like he was like, "Bitch, make me one of those," and she was just like, "Excuse me," like what?
right. Yeah. Just let me get on that. Yeah. Oh my God. So this is what the family put out yesterday. His family. So it says, first and foremost, we care deeply for the 4 families who have lost their precious children. There are no words that can adequately express the sadness we feel, and we pray each day for them. We will continue to let the legal process unfold, and us as a family, we will love and support our son, daughter, and brother. We have son and brother. We have fully cooperated with law enforcement agencies in an attempt to seek the truth and promote his presumption of innocence rather than judge unknown facts and make erroneous assumptions. We respect privacy in this matter, and our family and the family's loss can move forward through this legal process. And then it's sincerely Jason L. Labar, Esquire, Chief Public Defender, Counsel for Mr. Kroger.
So
Yeah, so
have you seen the letter? Mom, his mother would write letters to the newspaper,
okay.
and um, they're in Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
and apparently she's not for the death penalty. She's totally against the death penalty.
I
So
wonder why.
I wonder why.
Oh,
Yeah. Um, and this letter was like 2 years ago or something. But
oh my goodness.
I, obviously the death penalty is going to be on the table for this. So I mean, at
You
least I
think it will be?
would. It
Yeah.
better be like it better be on the table.
Right.
Like he murdered 4 people. Like
Yeah. And brutally. I don't even like to
allegedly allegedly he
yeah.
murdered 4 people.
I heard lol that one of the girls ended a date early with him one night.
Ooh.
Okay. Dandy, that would make sense. Might be a motive. Yeah, exactly.
No, his parents
Exactly.
weren't exactly like wealthy. They the mom is like a sub teacher, like a substitute teacher, maybe like
Okay.
um, and his dad worked maintenance at the very same school the mom worked at.
Well, they lived in a gated area though,
Yeah.
so they got to have a little bit of moolah.
Well, they also filed for bankruptcy twice in their life.
They did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean, that, like,
That I
I'm
didn't
sure
know.
they
Yeah.
stowed some things away, like money away, but like I don't think they're like what you would say wealthy. Like,
Right. Comfortable.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah. Okay. You bet. So Dandy, very easy to stalk, hurt them for revenge of his ego. And that's kind of
yeah.
what I'm thinking. That's kind of what I'm thinking at this point. There
Seems like the
is,
type
yeah,
he does.
was into criminology. Yes. And they said the dad is really weird. Okay. I haven't heard much about the parents yet.
Yeah.
And Ohio has the death penalty. My mouth is uh,
Idaho. Does Idaho have the death penalty, right?
that I don't know. Do not. Okay. Maxie?
I'm here. I'm actually
Oh, that's okay. I was like,
I'm looking for Idaho death.
okay. You look for that and I'll get ready to go through some things.
It looks like they do have the death penalty there.
Okay.
It was capital punishment was reinstated in 1973.
Okay. There you go. Okay. Well, I thought we'd maybe take a look at some of this stuff that's out. This is the Independent. And they're saying Idaho murders suspect Bryan Kohberger made creepy comments to staff and customers at the brewery. And I've heard this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a boo.
Yeah, this is like related to, was it Dandy that just said, or
No, videos. With a
Thank you for coming today. Last night, in conjunction with the Pennsylvania State Police, Federal Bureau of Investigation, detectives arrested 28-year-old.
Okay, we've seen that. So, a criminology PhD student accused of unaliving 4 University of Idaho students allegedly made creepy comments to staff at a brewery before his arrest. Washington State University grad student Bryan Christopher Kohberger, 28, was taken into custody in Pennsylvania early Friday in connection to the murders of Kaylee Goncalves, Madison Mogan, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin, following an investigation by the Moscow Police Department, the FBI, and the Idaho State Police. I am still amazed. I'm happily amazed. Let's see here. So, Mr. Kohberger resided in the Pullman campus, but had returned to Pennsylvania to spend holidays with his family. 34-year-old Jordan, oh, here we go, Shirlnak, who owns Seven Sirens Brewery Company in Bethlehem, PA, told NBC News in a report published this weekend that he was known for making inappropriate comments to female customers and staff. Like, what the hell?
mm-hmm.
Oh, he's creepy. He's just plain old creepy.
Yeah. Was it
It's-
Dandy or Sean that made that comment just now about, rejection, him hating, not liking rejection?
let me see here.
Yeah. If your waitresses are having to put notes down on their ticket orders about a customer, that's like not a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. He has to have a glitch, like that's something you can actually pick up. I can't see how he would do something like this and be like all normal. How do you do that? But I guess psychopaths, right? I guess I shouldn't even question it.
I mean, could we say maybe he had some sort of disorder? Like,
Mm.
I have heard, I don't know how true this is, that he was a little bit of like OCD, like had weird eating habits, even. Like,
Okay. Okay.
oh, not weird, just different. Vegan. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah. He had a problem with money and rejection, I bet. That totally makes sense. I'm also hearing that he had a pretty bad addiction, like
Yeah,
HER. Yeah.
like in
That
high
really
school.
heavy stuff.
Yeah.
And you can see through some of the pictures of him where he is like gaunt. And it's like, okay, I bet I know what you were doing then. But I'm really curious if that addiction came back.
Or transferred into something else. I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
people in college like the Adderall. Adderall is a big thing.
Okay.
Any kind of
Okay.
stimulant like that. Um,
Okay. This is why the creepy guys should be punched.
yes, that's exactly
I agree.
exactly the kind of person that you just
But
want to punch in the face.
maybe he's just bad. Some people are just vile. Yeah, I've got something to show you guys in a bit here. And it's someone he went to school with that's talking about him actually being not very nice in high school. OCD narcissist. He was
Yep.
bullied and did exact. Those are kind of what I'm thinking, Jessica. Yeah. Yeah.
They are evil birds. They're
Oh my God. Oh my God. Let's see here if there's anything. Just basically that when he showed up, the owner said to him, like, be good, no more creepy comments. And he said that they watched him and he'd usually have 2 or 3 beers, just get a little too comfortable. And
I mean, there's people like that, like people that can't read the room, that are just like socially awkward.
yeah,
Don't have like a filter as far as like that's not an appropriate question to ask.
right.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
but
Said,
those people aren't like sometimes they are, but like a lot of those people aren't murderers. Like this guy
well, yeah.
has a tick. Like,
Oh, absolutely. Out of all the different theories that I had in my brain, mass killer, I don't know, because they're saying because it wasn't 2 different incidences that he's considered a mass killer, not a Cheerios one.
I would consider him a Cheerios.
Yeah, so
Just
would
that
I.
mentality. I did mention that the other day, like, well, to you, that
Yeah.
I'm really glad that if he is guilty or if he did do these things,
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that he's off the streets, because
Oh my God.
this dude would do it again. I feel like that would
Oh my
what he
God.
exhibits, what he has shown, if it
Yeah.
really is him, he would do it again.
I 100% agree, like 100%. So this is what we were just talking about. It's saying a friend went on to say that Mr. Kohberger would become upset if a woman at the business rejected him of his romantic advances. In one specific incident, he called a staff member a disparaging term when she didn't answer his questions. One former friend said they described him as academically gifted and at times socially awkward. They've also come forward with details about his personality and his troubled past, allegedly marked by that addiction and weight struggles. Says there was something definitely off about him. We couldn't tell exactly what it was, but I remember one time when I was walking down the highway, he stopped me and was like, "Do you want to hang out?" Like, she said Bryan was bullied a lot, and never got a chance to say something to defend himself because he would always run away. That's interesting. From that to a PhD graduate. Wow. So it says Mr. Kohberg is a PhD graduate student in the Criminal Justice Criminology Department in Pullman, Washington, around 9 miles west of Moscow. Pullman is around 9 miles, 15 kilometers west of Moscow, where the students lived. Moscow Police Chief Fry said on Friday he was prevented by state law from revealing what tipped police off to Kohberg's arrest until the suspect has been extradited to Idaho. And he really sounds like he wants to talk. I think he's looking forward to explaining what kind of happened with that.
He's eager to move it along, and that is frightening. I mean, to be honest,
Okay, yeah.
him waiving his extradition isn't really like that big of a deal. Like, I would have done the same thing because essentially you're just agreeing that that's you on the paperwork that, you know, the probable cause.
Yep.
Like that's pretty much all you're saying is, yeah, that's me. Like, no, let's
Right.
hurry it up. So, because as soon as he gets extradited, that's when like everything else starts. Like, you can get bonded, you can do all that stuff, right, leading into the actual trial. So
yeah. I found this interesting too. Chief Fry, someone said basically this in this article, do you think there's other people involved? And he said, we have an individual in custody who committed these horrible crimes, and I believe the community is safe. So I do believe
answer the question, Chief Fry.
I know he's got his way with words, doesn't he? Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
gosh.
But like you said earlier, like I said earlier, you said earlier, I don't know.
It's easier to keep a secret with one person. It's
absolutely.
2 people can keep a secret if one of them is dead.
Oh, this is it.
So yeah, I do think he did it
Unreal.
himself. He seems like that person that just,
Yeah.
if you want something done right, do it yourself. Kind of weird, murderous
absolutely.
way, but
Yeah.
he wants to be in control, and you can't have, you know, someone who's not as smart as you running around with a weapon in a house, because you can't control what he's doing. And he seems like he really wants to be in control.
Yeah. Yeah. My question is, do these people know they're weirdos and broken, or do they feel normal? I almost think they feel superior.
They admit it. They'll admit, like, Bundy knew something was wrong with him, but he still thought that he was like the catch of the day.
Oh my God. Yeah.
What's that big guy's name? He was like 6 foot something. He killed his grandparents.
Ed Kemper?
Yes, this dude really, okay, because he was a genius. His IQ is off the charts.
Oh yeah.
And he openly talks about like his, I guess I would call it like a quirk. It's not really a quirk, but he knew he was messed up.
He did.
Right.
And he literally said, like, I am not, he was in and out of that anyways, in and out of those different facilities because of his mother. And he had done some bad stuff before. Yeah. But he also knew that he was wrong. Yeah.
Interesting feller, that guy.
And he's huge.
Yes.
Like,
oh my God, I would be terrified. Can you imagine the women? I would be so terrified of this guy.
Oh yeah. Okay, there you go. That's how tall he is. That's how big he is. Look at this. Right?
No. He could bear hug you.
Oh my God. Like he's monster. He needs to be added to Discord, this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ed Kemper. But yeah, a lot of them 6'10", is that right? Oh, he's monster.
Yes, he did love to talk, and he was so
Yeah.
well spoken, like articulate, and just I feel like that guy did a lot of like self-reflection. Like he really knew
Mhm.
himself.
I think so,
Wow. Blows my
and
mind.
not giving out information, I think is, again, it's a control issue. I've got something you want, and they believe that it's showing intelligence, it's showing a lot of different things. But no, they're just really good game players.
Audio books for the blind. Wow.
Amazing police work. I agree 100%. Hello, Blifton. Good to see you. Yeah, Ed Kemper. Whoa. Was it? Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant guy. Yeah. Brilliant.
Terrifying.
That's
brilliant.
right, James. Yeah. He unalived his grandparents at 17 years old, tricked the psych ward into releasing him within 7 years.
Can you imagine if like all of these like past serial killers that have walked this earth actually used their brains for good instead
Oh, that's the
instead of
thing.
evil? Like how
Oh my God.
they would probably be like the best detective group like, around. Oh my God.
So he does do books for the blind, eh, James? I did not know that.
That's so
Yes,
crazy.
he did. He did some nasty things. It made it very obvious he did not like his mom. Yeah, Ed Kemper. So I don't know. This guy is not an Ed Kemper. I
No.
do.
Yeah.
I
not
get
an-
Ted Bundy vibes. I get even a little bit of Dexter, to be honest with you. I know it's a program, but this guy seems to like the same kind of games and the same kind of outsmarting everybody.
This is like something out of a movie. Like, is this for real? Like, is this guy actually for real
Exactly.
right now? Like, that comment that he allegedly made as soon as he got arrested. I don't know if this is true.
Yeah.
But that he asked if anyone else had been arrested.
Yeah.
Like,
That's right. Yeah. That it's an interesting question, but
well, is he
different
planting seeds
programs.
of doubt already? Like, is that his
That's right.
gameplay?
Exactly. Yeah. So they're saying that he got chattier after he unalived these people.
He did seem to get a little chattier going Halo Approach to the Tomb. He was always talkative in the beginning of Approach to the Tomb. He very much liked it when everybody in the room knew that he knew what was going on.
Oh, what is this? Makes me wonder if
that's where I took that video from.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That is awesome. Yeah, it is. Oh, that's too cool.
But yeah, like that comment again, like just to go back to it, because that would mean, because from here on out, let's just say, like, pretend that he really, like, this guy if he did do this, that he had thought it all the way through, down to the
You're-
arrest, down to the trial, all of it.
I think so.
Which-
I
that
do.
is
I think
so
so.
insane. Like, that is
Yeah.
premeditation to like the fifth power of
Well,
premeditation.
and you know, if he's that smart, you know how their brains run like a train, and doing this down to every single detail and being prepared for every possible scenario, I think is part of it for him.
Like, does
I
this guy,
think
it's
what
like
is that
some kind
guy?
of a movie. Is this guy thinks he's like law-abiding citizen, like Gerard Butler or something. Like, he
Yep.
literally has
Yep.
thought it all the way through, and that is insane
Yeah.
to me. Like, is that for real? Like, is this guy actually for real on it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. So again, the gloves. Okay. Do you think that he went in there and he was like totally wearing like scrubs and the booties and would he be thinking about that? Could that be part of the reason we're
Why
not hearing about
wearing
like,
gloves after at the store?
and then wearing stuff after?
So
Like, did he have all of this stuff? Did he, because he had access to it all?
why would he, if he knew that everything he did was absolutely perfect, right? Like,
Yeah.
he wore the scrubs, like, that's a little extreme, but he had the gloves on, he was covered up, he shaved his head that day, whatever. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
why worry about what you leave behind after if you knew it went down perfectly to begin with?
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they do have DNA, but this is
Mhm.
like the point I've been trying to drive through, like, since the very beginning, is I'd be really concerned. My concern with the DNA is, what is it
Right.
and where did they find it?
Right. And hopefully there was enough in different areas. Like, hopefully we're not talking about a little drop here or a hair that he can say, oh no, I was there.
It's a party house.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
an expectation, like,
Oh.
from here on out, from now that he's been arrested, this is going to be like the easiest part for any criminal, because all you have to do is sit back and wait for the state to prove their case against you, because all you have to do is plant that doubt, put somebody else there, have an explanation for
Mhm.
why your hair might be, one strand of your hair is somewhere in the house.
Yeah.
It's a party house.
Yeah. It is.
So
That's the thing. It's a party house. Yeah, it totally is. So hopefully, I mean, I was just reading the chats here, and it's James. He said left DNA behind, maybe cuts, scratches, or those kids must have fought hard. I heard that both Xana and Ethan fought hard, and the girls upstairs, well, Maddie, it sounds like, was super quick. And, you know, if the different rumors are correct in any which way, it sounds like Kaylee was caught in the hallway and ended up in Maddie's room. So, how did he know these kids? How often could he have been to the house? How friendly was he with them?
because this apparently, if I'm understanding it correctly, this would have been his first semester
Mm-hmm.
at Washington, at Pullman.
Yeah, I think he moved in August.
Yeah, this is so, and I know it's like the towns are really close together, so it wouldn't be too far-fetched to like think maybe, they cross paths somewhere, but
Well, I'm wondering,
I just
I don't know.
yeah.
paper suit, paper over shoes. That's what I'm thinking, James. Like, oh, don't. I might have to mute, guys. He had access to all of this stuff. So I'm really thinking that if he put as much thought into it as I think he did, he just could have done himself right up and been able to leave there with nothing, jump into that car and go. Don't think, hang on.
He messed up he messed up somewhere, because if his cell phone data puts him, if it is true what they're saying that he stalked them for weeks, it's because the cell phone data put him there in their same area as these kids. But if he really had thought about it all the way through, he wouldn't have carried his freaking phone. Like, obviously that's a screw up there.
Yeah. And they didn't say that he took the phone that night. They said that his phone, like through the different past couple of weeks, his phone was at the same places as these
But
kids.
when they say the same area, like, what exactly does that mean? Like, is this phone like data literally pinging on top of all of those kids, or are they just like
Right.
within the vicinity of each other? Because that's easily explainable. Like, just because you guys like go to the same places doesn't mean you're guilty of murder.
No, but it would still be curious if the only time he was in Moscow doing things, he was doing them at the same time as those kids.
Yeah.
You know, if he was doing nothing and then ended up in town, because he wouldn't, if his studies and grades were that good, how much time would he have to stalk? You know, he's as, what is it, teacher's helper.
As
He
a
was in
aid,
criminology. He was,
some kind of aid, something.
yeah, so he does that while he's going to class himself. How much time was he having to do all of this? Hello, Connor. Good to see you.
Well, that was like another thing. I think another one of his classmates had spoken out, but they gave like a completely different side of his personality than. So like one person had said that he was really talkative, and like after the murders happened, he
Mhm.
was a little bit friendlier, more talkative. But then another
Yeah.
person had said that it like he looked like he hadn't slept in days. He was like burning the candle on both ends constantly with a coffee in his hand. That's two very
Yeah,
different like
it is.
personalities
Yeah.
there. Like,
And I agree with Slinging here. I think he thinks he's smart enough to beat this in court. And I really believe that. I think he just has prepared himself. Okay, I'll do this if I get caught. A, B, C, D, you know, and maybe if it gets thrown off course a little bit for him, it might mess up his little plan there. But in his brain, I think he's just got this down.
do you think he
And
wrote
like,
any of this stuff out? Like, maybe, made a list, checked it twice. Like, you think?
yeah, I would think he would have to somewhere, unless his retention is
Yeah,
like,
and I'm sure he has a really good retention. It's just.
mm-hmm. And like James said, social media does make stalking easy. It really does. Oh, exactly. And tieback suits can be purchased at any hardware store. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. He was angry, such a brutal angry. That I agree with you, Shauna. Like, there had to be anger and hatred behind that kind of attack. What gives you that kind of adrenaline that you can? These girls were, I mean, they were young and not in bad shape, and there was a man involved.
And
So
It's hard to say because there's been like plenty of like serial killers or just spree killers. A lot of serial killers, they're not necessarily like angry at that point in time. They really just like the thrill.
You think it's
a
more the
fix.
adrenaline than the
It's a fix, like for a lot of them. You know,
okay.
like,
Yeah.
yes, that maybe there's something that angered them that maybe made them pick a certain type, right? Like, but they're not necessarily angry at that moment that they're committing the actual deed.
You don't think so? You don't think that they get kind of an adrenaline rush from some
Oh yeah, but
anger
that would
or
be
some kind
like
of
a fix. Like it's a thrill for them, and that's
right?
a fix. It's like a drug.
Yeah.
Essentially, the adrenaline would be the drug.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah, what James said, criminal psychology, he would be very aware that the phones are taking devices, that tracking devices.
Yeah, tracking.
Yeah. No, and 100%. So I'd be interested to see if that shows up, his phone in that area and that car. Mistakes were made. He had to make a mistake. All his studies proved people react differently in life or death situation. So that's what I was going to ask. Was there volunteers? Did he actually get people respond to this study that he was
I
doing?
absolutely do believe that he did. I mean, if you read
Okay.
where he posted that on Reddit was like it's like ex-cons was like the board. And if you kind of just read through some of the people that are posting, a lot of them are ex-cons and a lot of them are asking like questions about like, hey, what do I do in this situation? And like,
right.
What is the law on traveling and like stuff like that. So it's like, I do think people responded to.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. And yeah, everybody responds differently to every situation, not just these.
Could that be considered I'm curious if like prosecutors can argue from that study premeditation.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. They took it down, I guess, right?
Yeah, they did shortly after the arrest.
Yeah. Yeah. And like James, we were talking about Ed Kemper. He used to hang out at a bar with the cops. They all liked him. They called him Big Ed. They talked about different crimes that were going on. He knew what was going on in the area because he got all the information from the cops talking after work, having bevies. And they liked him, which is the thing. Like, talk about a dual life. Writings can be explained away by his studies unless they find a confession. Well said, Dandy. Absolutely. Yeah, and that's the number one thing not to do is write a note.
Right, exactly. But I mean, this guy could have also maybe had like a shorthand, like doctors do. They write in like a language that they're the only ones that can understand.
Right.
Like abbreviate, use code words.
Yeah. Yeah. And what like Dandy is saying, like adrenaline is a very, very addictive substance. You know, gets a lot of people in trouble for a lot of different reasons. Chasing adrenaline.
Yeah.
That's true, James. For example, a cornflakes Cheerios, we'll call them Cheerios killer, can be a devout Christian and go to church every Sunday. Absolutely 100%. Some of them get a kick from it and get some satisfaction. No easy way of saying that. All good. You're exactly right. Yeah. You're correct, Mexi, for him to see if he could get away with it. And that's the thing. And now the new game, like it was mentioned earlier, the new game is going to be how will he do in court? So, guys, honestly, what do you think? Do you think he will be part of his defense? Do you think he's going to think that he's that smart? I would love to know what you guys are thinking.
I
Like BTK.
I think he'd get like a really good lawyer, that's for sure. But I think he'd be very heavily involved with his
yeah.
you know.
And if they don't go his way, he'll just start firing them.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, who's to say he can't hire Baez, you know, the Casey Anthony's lawyer, that fucking clown. I mean, he's good. Let's be honest. Like he's kind of really good.
Baez?
Yes.
Yeah, he did a good job. He did a really good job. So she made him mad. That made her a target, and he watched the house. And boom, that's exactly what I think. And I think maybe not even one of them. I think he was fixated on, possibly a few of them.
I'm anxious to know what the connection here is, if there is one.
From a plane.
Because if there is no connection, my God, it's even scarier to think about, because if there is no connection between him and them and they've never crossed paths, that means he literally just like opened up a phone book, closed his eyes, and was like, boom.
But Kaylee's family is saying that he does have a connection to the house. Yeah.
But I'd be really interested I'm anxious to know what that is.
Oh, absolutely.
The degree
of
that connection.
I love this comment. Like people jumping from perfectly working planes. Yeah. I did that. That was awesome. Oh, right. I hope he defends himself. Right? How many times? What is that line about? I can't remember what it is. How stupid you are. Basically, you've got like a dummy for a client if you represent yourself, type of thing. Right? Yeah, I hope he tries. A man who defends him has a fool for a client. Yes, there we are. That's it exactly.
Yeah.
The reports are he wants everyone to know how smart he is. He made a point to be mean to people less intelligent. That is what I've heard, Shauna. Like, yeah, he was a bully. He liked to, when he was in school, he liked to knock people down. He liked to put them in chokeholds. Oh, there we go. Brandy. Oh.
Man, he did it as a school project. That would be insane. If that is his sole purpose of him murdering 4 people was for a school project, I will jump off a working plane. You're muted. I can't hear you. There you are.
Yeah, sorry. I was just a little, and I was like, what? She was barking for a long time. So yeah, I really believe this to be true. Like, how does he go about this large attack and have absolutely not done anything before? Whether or not it was humans or animals, what got him to be okay around all the fluids that would be around, all the things that happened to the human body after? I mean, how did he get it where he's able to do and deal with that stuff unless the DA is vomit all over the place?
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's the DNA that they have.
Right? Like, my Lord. I would never jump from a plane. I'm sticking with my thesis, right? Thesis. and did this as a school project. Like, right? I mean, oh. I think he met Kay through chat and criminology, tried to date her, she rejected him. Now the planning of the crime starts. Oh, so you think possibly they met through basically education?
And was she like, would she have been like the last straw for him? Like, he's just like, that's it. Tired of
Yeah.
these women rejecting me. And
Right. Yeah.
then that it escalates that quickly. Like, I mean, obviously, like, he doesn't like rejection. So it's kind of been
Right.
proven. But like you said, like, where do you go from, oh man, I just got dumped again, to I'm gonna kill all of these people? Like, how do you make that jump?
Oh, right. Yeah, I don't know. What the
There's
hell
gotta be
was
something.
that? What
Like,
the heck was that blocked? What did I miss? Lifting,
I
I
have no
don't,
idea.
yeah.
I don't know if I was it a comment? I don't know. Oh, the DB Cooper thing. I'm not sure. Not
What
sure
happened?
why that didn't show.
Didn't it show when I showed it?
Yeah, no, it showed, but like, why would YouTube try to block it to begin with?
Oh my
Question.
goodness.
Yeah, it's YouTube. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Right? Oh, this is it. I hope it's in their nails. Yeah.
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 How do you explain that?
You know,
You don't.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. And he sounds like, from what Xana's dad said and some of the different things that we've seen out there, that Xana did put up a hell of a fight. So, I mean, we know how girls are. They bite, they kick, they scratch, they whatever it takes.
Especially if she just witnessed you killed her boyfriend. Who's,
Right?
I mean, nothing against men, but it's your duty as a man to protect,
That's how men feel. Yeah, they're usually
and
out the door.
if I witnessed my lover like being just hacked down, I'd go freaking nuts. Like,
Right? I'm
nuts.
running towards you, not away.
I would start throwing every possible object
Right?
I could find.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're
Oh, but I still can't imagine. So, I mean, was this guy wearing a balaclava? I don't know that either. Can you imagine you wake up and this
no,
dude
no,
is there? Like,
absolutely not.
oh my God. That is like a person's worst fear.
And
I don't know.
kinda, and I know, like, no one's said this. I've never heard anyone mention this, but God bless Murphy. Okay, God bless Murphy.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they did a great job. Kaylee seems like a very sweet girl, and so does Jack.
Yeah.
And I'm sure
Was
like
it?
their dog was just like the sweetest. And they said that the dog wasn't a barker. I'm sorry, Murphy,
Yeah.
bark. Okay. Like, that's
There's
something that I would never
Murphy.
try to correct my dog on, is if he wants to bark when someone's walking in the door, by all means,
Yeah.
bark away.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's your job.
Yeah. People would be more apt to say, okay, just be quiet, because so many people are coming in and out of that house, right?
Yeah. And I wouldn't want that. I want my dog to be sweet. Yes, Loki is very cute. And he's such a sweet boy, but he will alert to anybody walking in. I want that in an animal. I want that.
Hey, Dag.
I definitely don't want to wake up with a freaking masked man standing next to me.
Oh,
I would
yeah.
immediately look at Loki and be like, dude, you had
Get
one
him.
freaking job.
Right?
You
Get
failed.
him.
You
Oh, yeah. Oh, but Loki would be on it.
Oh yeah. You're not
Absolutely.
getting in the house.
Yeah, no, not with Loki around. Absolutely not. So, in my honest opinion, if he was a hardcore vegan, he probably had lots of interactions with the two girls at the Greek restaurant. Okay, maybe where the sicko's obsession started with them. So, okay, was the Greek Road kind of like a vegan type restaurant?
Is it?
I don't know. Loki is
So
very cute.
that would be another crazy thing. Okay, this guy is alleged to be vegan, right? Like he
Right.
made his parents buy new pots and pans because they cooked meat in it. That's how vegan he was.
Yeah,
But he wasn't
okay.
so not vegan that he couldn't murder 4 people. Like, do those two things correlate to each other? Being vegan and killing people?
It's interesting, right? It's kind of a, I don't know.
Like, I don't understand how that works exactly.
James, it's funny when you do that, right? Because if you stick up for the guy, or so if you go after the guy because he's hurting the girl will turn on you. And then you got two people at you. I've seen it happen.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
like,
sorry that happened, James. That's kind
yeah,
of
oh, it is
that is funny though.
terrible. Oh, I think that's where it all started is the restaurant. You think so? You think it was more the restaurant than a house party?
I mean, with just that guy doesn't actually look like a partier. Like if he was, and I that house obviously seemed like they were cool with people just like they didn't
Yeah.
know being there. I don't
Yeah.
know. But this guy would
Yeah.
stand out to me. Like if he was at my party, I'd be like, who the fuck is this freak? Like
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, my Yorkie is very protective. If an intruder came in, he'd jump and bite him
yeah.
and bite his no-nose. That's good. But you know what? Little dogs, oh my goodness. You don't want to get into
Little
an
ankle
argument with them.
biters. You get that Achilles. Get that.
Oh, it hurts.
They got these little sharp little razor. Oh my gosh. It
Yeah,
stings. It
their
stings.
canines are like, right? Right, Shauna, the restaurant. When Google vegan food, it comes up first place. When you Google vegan food. Oh, seriously? Okay. That is really awesome. Thanks, Dak. Yeah, that's like you said. Yes, the restaurant. It could just be the car that gave him away. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if that wasn't the first heads up and then they started looking a little further. It'll be interesting to find out. Isn't he kind of old to be in college?
He's
Yeah,
a PhD candidate. So he does like like a professor aide, student aide thing. He had his own office.
he
But then
did.
he would also take like a couple of classes, I would think, for the PhD. So
Okay, okay. Gotcha. And that's a lot of schooling. Like you're talking years and years and years. And money, money, money. He met them at the restaurant, creeped them on their social media, stalked them, and the rest is history. You're pretty confirmed or pretty sure on that, hey Dandy? So is there anywhere we can take a look at? Because I'd love to see that.
um
He's going for his PhD. Yeah.
I thought I had found him. Now I'm not so sure anymore. Like on Instagram. But there was also like several other accounts that were being created under the same name with like a different picture. That are
Mm-hmm.
obviously like spoof ones.
Okay.
But there was one in particular that looked like it could have been legit. But I'm not so sure anymore if that's really him
Okay.
or if it's like a spoof thing as well.
Right? Yeah. That's kind of what I was wondering. There is a large gap there. But it does make sense now that, I don't know why I didn't throw that restaurant into that equation. But that makes a lot of sense.
So, do you remember there was a couple of body cam footages that were released? I know there's the one that allegedly went to Jack Decor's alleged home, and then they went and spoke to Kaylee, like right after.
Right?
There's that one. There's the
Is it
one
about the noise violation thing?
yeah. And then there's the
And then-
one with the at night with the underage drinkers. But there was another body cam footage that was released, and it was like the house next to Jack Decor's, like in between Kaylee's.
Yeah.
There was that house that had that like back patio, and then like in the cul-de-sac was alleged Jack's.
Right.
There
Right.
was a police complaint. Like they called the cops for, I think someone had like broken into the girl's car. Like there was like a footprint on her
remember.
car, and like her underwear had been taken and stuffed somewhere else.
Okay.
Could that have been this guy, allegedly?
Yeah, because there's a couple stories out there, but they were out there and then kind of gone now.
Yeah.
There was the ones where they say there was a guy in the car. And then there was this one.
Because I'm trying to find some sort of like escalation to this.
Yeah.
It's like you can't, like again, peeping Tom, like I'd be really interested in looking at Pennsylvania to
Yep.
see if there's like incidents there of
Absolutely.
intruders or people catching someone outside, kind of stalking situations. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe when we're finished the show, maybe we
look up some,
yeah, maybe do some map time, like find out where he is. I seen you started on there, but I'm really curious. Did you put the mom's house in? And
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, you did. You probably
Yeah.
finished it.
I
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As I'm talking, I'm like, why? You know her better than that.
I do want to add the college that he went to in Pennsylvania, just as like a reference point, and then maybe like look around that area to see if there's any, look up the activity logs.
Yeah.
Or,
yeah. So we were talking about this a little while ago. It says Benjamin Roberts, a fellow dictatorial student in Washington State University, said that Bryan Kohberger became chattier after the unalivings of the 4 University of Idaho students. Became chatty. Bryan seemed like he was on the knife's edge between exhaustion and worn out, and at the same time, it was extremely difficult to tell which. And this says that he's been charged with 4 counts of first degree. He got chattier. Wow. He said he didn't recall him speaking specifically about the shocking crime. Robert said Kohlberg's perpetual signs of exhaustion didn't raise any flags prior to the slaying because it appeared consistent with the way many grad students behave amid the rigors of academic life. He's described as awkward, but the kind of person who always wanted to make sure everyone knew how smart or intelligent he was. He had to make absolutely sure you knew he was smart and he had this intellectual capacity, Roberts told the news outlet. Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. Talking about him getting arrested. Once he appears in Idaho court, officials can legally release his probable cause affidavit, so that's tomorrow, which should shed light on what led to his what led to his arrest nearly 7 weeks after the killing. The murder weapon, believed to be a large pointy object, has not been found. So do you think he got that, threw that on his way back to Pennsylvania? That would make
He would be a smart guy to do that. I mean, there's no
Yeah.
reason to hold on to that after the
right.
fact.
Nope. And it's also saying in here that he's eager to be exonerated and looks forward to resolving these matters as promptly as possible. The Department of Criminal Justice and Criminology at Washington University is aggrieved by the alleged horrendous acts of one of its graduate students. Yeah. Amazing. Let's see here.
That's an interesting comment, Jack. I never did look into those murders in Oregon. But that would be interesting to see if
I don't know what that is, but
I
don't know what that
but again,
is.
I mean, he spent a lot of, like, he was in Pennsylvania the whole entire time for years. That's where I would start. That's what I would want to look into, if there's any murders or
Absolutely
other things that happen in that area. Because
animals, even,
yeah,
look for, was there a time when your pet cats and dogs were going missing? Because like we were saying, it's very hard to see how this could be his first attempt at this. He has been regimental in what he's doing, even to get his dad to fly out to Washington, jump off, and drive all the way back to Pennsylvania with him. That was even a little interesting. I don't know what reason that would be, unless it's for cameras, his dad getting out of the V. I don't know. But somehow his dad
you
made.
think they stayed in any hotels? Because that would be a reason. I mean, you get your other parent or someone to travel with you. You can get a hotel under their name.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I heard he wasn't focused and he gave the students better grades after the attacks. Is that right, eh? Okay. I think he could be responsible
I heard both
for
of those explanations of his personality. I heard both. Like, he was very talkative, and then he was also just tired.
Right. That is very interesting, Dak. 13th of the month, the couple sleeping in Oregon. I'm just getting my book. Write that down in my book. So Oregon, on the 13th.
When did he change his tags? Because he plated his vehicle, didn't he, in Washington?
I'm sorry, I missed that. What's that?
When did he change his tags for his car?
Or did he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if he had a home, which he did, an address that was in Pennsylvania, he would never even have to do that. You can pick one or the other, I do believe.
Well, yeah. I mean, it depends on the state. Like, if you ever get pulled over, and that's probably what it was that because he had like a seatbelt infraction, like in August or something.
Right.
And then I'm more than sure that when he got pulled over, the cops probably were like, where are you going? Where are you from? Where do you live? And he was like, oh, I have an apartment over at Pullman. I'm like a student there, whatnot. And then
Yeah.
the cops probably would have said, well, if you're a resident, you're going to have to plate your vehicle accordingly and also get a license from that state. I mean, you can if you want to, but like, I know
just
that
more money for like, yeah. So Blifton, so that lady who mentored him, she wrote 70 crime books. Missed him, I guess. Yeah, what's interesting about that lady is her name's Carrie, and I think it's Rawson. She's BTK's daughter. I talked to her a few times over the past year. She would get on to Twitter, actually. And quite often she got attacked by people. And, I got talking to her through that. It bothered me to see people going after her. It's not her father. It's not her fault. Her dad's like. She's actually nice. And look what she did with that. I'm very impressed. I heard he overtalked his own professors, so thought he was smarter than them sometimes. Hey, I can believe that, which tells me there's a good possibility that he's going to want to take over this trial. What do you think, Mexi?
I think he would be dumb to do that.
I think so too, but
he seems to be, if it is true, if he really is that smart of an individual, just because you're good at one area, which would be the behavior of, that's what he was studying, was the behavior of criminals.
Right.
Doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be able to win in a court, because you still need to know all those things. So
yeah,
he would be a lot smarter just to have a good attorney. But he would be,
it's
I think
true.
he would be heavily involved in what's talked about, how the strategy, all of that. I think he'd be very heavily involved in it.
Yeah. Shauna, Carrie Rawson is BTK's daughter. So yeah, she studied the crap out of him. I can't stand people like that. Absolutely no point in conversing. It's true. There we go. Israel Keys vibes. I was trying to remember his name, James. This is what I think. This is exactly what I think. Israel Keys. Now, that
Who's
guy
this
just.
one? Show a picture, because
I'm going to look for him here.
I'm not good with names.
Yeah, Israel Keys.
You too, Shauna.
Oh, see you later, Shauna. Thanks for being here. Israel Keys. Always love to have Shauna. She's great conversation.
I know, I've missed you. Where's she been?
I know she's been maybe holidaying. Christmas. Okay, this is Israel Keys.
Oh, this freak.
Oh, yeah.
He kidnapped
Very
that girl
much
from
so.
the ice cream shop.
Yep. And he had kill kits all over the U.S.
Stashed. This dude was.
Yep. Here's one. He had these buried all over the place. So all he had to do, the deer are in the front. Yeah, he could just go wherever and everything was there. He just had to find the person that he was going to go get, and that's that. Here, it's just beautiful. Yeah. Oh, there's another one. This is how he was stashing them. And I'm sure there's more out there.
Didn't they catch him not catch him, they pulled him over, was it like Arizona or somewhere, New Mexico? I don't know what this guy was doing. He was just driving around, I guess. I don't know. Because he went on vacation. He kidnapped this girl, killed her, left her in the garage, right? Like,
yeah, like kind of a shed thing, ideally.
And he took off to Orlando or somewhere on vacation with his daughter.
Yeah.
This guy was, yeah.
Oh, he was messed. Oh, see, that's where you want to watch it. Watch Mikey.
Yeah, Michael. If you
Yeah.
guys not subscribe to that chapter, that's the name of the
Yeah.
channel, is
You're,
that chapter. He's great. He's a good storyteller. And he's
he
funny.
really is. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So let's see here. Smart, but not so smart. Exactly. Yeah, that's how I see it. Using one of the victim's credit cards. I think that is what it was.
Yeah.
So is there any thoughts going around concerning whether he has? Yeah, Blifton, I think we're all kind of thinking about that right
Or
now because
escalation. Like, where is the progression? Like James said earlier, look, there's usually a progression to these things.
yeah.
Where is that? Where did that take place? What did he do? Like,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
very, very anxious to find out. I know it's going to be a while. I do think they're going to keep a lot of that sealed.
I think so too. I think so too.
So
It seems to be what they're doing lately.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Well, it
Poor
makes sense too. Like somebody had brought it up finally, because I hadn't thought about this, not like the jury pool, right?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
it's such a small town. You know, they want to keep as much of the details
Yeah.
close,
Yeah.
you know, not shared, because you don't want to contaminate that.
No, you don't want to mess that up. I mean,
No.
they want
You want
to
a
get
fair
him good.
trial. Yes. Like fair trial,
Yeah.
without a doubt, you know.
So I'm just reading from New York Post put something out, and it says here that he did stalk the alleged victims before the November unalivings and wore gloves to the supermarkets weeks afterwards. Cell phone data shows that Bryan Kohberger, 28, was often in the same location as the 3 sorority sisters and one of their boyfriends before he allegedly did what he did. They apparently slept at an off-campus house, and we know all about their house. So it also seems that he was careful about not leaving fingerprints, even in public, and that they're saying, fled to his native state of Pennsylvania. And the source said he's not stupid and has been very careful. He claimed to be good friends with one of the cops. Oh, this is the one we were talking about, where the guy was giving out the information in that, what was it, a Tic Toc?
Yeah.
Yeah. So an investigator.
And that was creepy. That was creepy.
Yeah. So it says here his cell phone pings followed their every move for weeks. And let's see here, where he wore gloves the entire time afterwards. And this comes from an investigator, he's saying. Yeah, they were in a gated community in Albright, Pennsylvania, and had local tie to the mall's source. The male's source. Good God, man. The man's sister and aunt and uncle lived near the accused killer, who purportedly attended the school with the source's cousin. I've been invested in this case the last 6 weeks and like to find out how close he is to us. And that one of our friends found him and arrested him is just crazy. Okay. He's saying that Kohberger has continued to serve as a teacher's assistant in the university before driving across county with his dad, or across the country. Yeah, beautiful girls. All that energy.
Mhm.
So yeah, his dad, okay, his father, who is not said to be a suspect, flew to Idaho to make the 2,500 mile drive with his son after he completed his first semester at the PhD program at the university. This comes from the suspect's lawyer. He is on suicide watch at the Monroe County Correctional Facility, and he is eager to be exonerated. Oh my God, that word. He is described as super awkward and a little off by students in the criminal justice and criminology department. Cops had honed in on him on the DNA evidence and Kohberger's car, which was seen near the site of the unalivings. So again, who's seen this car? Did they get a license? There's questions now.
And how
Let's
often was
see.
it there? You know, did he park in that little area behind the house? Was it
Yeah,
like a nightly thing, a daily thing? Because that's something
yeah,
neighbors would actually notice. Like you see a car that you've never seen constantly for a good period of time, and then all of
yeah.
a sudden you never see it again. Like I would ask questions, like what happened to that car?
Oh, right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So it'd be interesting to know who is living beside them. Like, I'm curious now. Very curious. There, the one neighbor, I'm trying to see if I've got anything on that one neighbor that said, he was just super quiet. And now this one says detached subject in Idaho unalivings studied under, okay, it's not going to let me. Oh, Daily Beast says no. So that was basically just going to say that I don't know. I don't know what they were going to say, to be honest with you.
Well,
There
it
is
was
basically nothing Mhm.
he went to that college and took a class with the person that did BTK.
Oh, the mother or the sister? Oh my God, guys!
Is she just a psychologist, or
Carrie
is
is
that like actually his daughter? Like, not.
that
I'm
is his
kind of
daughter.
confused now. Okay.
Yeah, Carrie, Kerri is the daughter, and I can't. I think it's Rawson, Rawson. Yeah, she was raised. I mean, that's his biological daughter.
And she's a professor.
Yep,
Oh,
doctor.
okay.
Yeah,
because
she
that's
took
what
up
that article was going to talk about, was him studying at Pennsylvania with
with Kerri Rawson.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm curious though, because like I said, I like, if I'm understanding correctly, it is his first semester at Pullman. What made him pick Washington?
That's a good question.
Because he could have gotten his PhD from anywhere else. I mean, there's plenty of good schools in Pennsylvania that, for criminology. What's
Yes.
special about Washington that?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if it's maybe he was zooming in on Kerri, or if I don't know how well their credentials are. I really don't know. Israel Keys, you bet. Absolutely dandy. Let's see here. Yeah, stone cold psychopath. He would have definitely done this again. And he even said that, right? He even said that. Yeah,
Especially if he would have gotten away with it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, there's more out there with him. There's got to be.
But that's
Again, they don't.
Sorry, since we're not talking about this, that also brings me back to Richard Allen
Yep.
and the Delphi. Like
Mm-hmm.
if Richard Allen really is the guy, he
Mhm.
never he also just randomly just decided to kill these two girls, and then
Mm-hmm.
5 years went by and he never did anything else.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know about that. Like, I'm sure there's things we don't know about Israel
yeah.
Keys. Yeah, I'm sure there's lots because he was very bright. He did things very, very sneaky. He yeah, he'd be another one. I'll definitely put Israel Keys in Discord.
Oh, I
And
definitely
yeah,
know
maybe
Israel Keys like killed before. Like he's got a count on him for sure. But like
absolutely agreed.
but Bryan, like
Agreed.
comparing Richard Allen and Bryan
Yeah.
Kohberger, right now, like
Mhm.
we don't know a whole lot about Richard and we don't know a whole lot about Bryan,
Right.
but these are very serious crimes that they're accused of committing, right?
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
serious.
Yeah.
How, as far as I know, I don't see a progression in Richard Allen, like leading up to the girls. And then there was 5 years where, I mean, was like squeaky clean, right? And with Bryan, I mean, I don't know yet either, but
Yeah.
where's
Yeah.
the progression to this heinous crime?
Yeah. Well, do you know what? Maybe, I mean, there's always a possibility that it was always a thought, and then they end up meeting a certain person
And it
that,
just
yep,
clicks.
I don't know. I don't know what makes these people this sick. And I don't know. I mean, it used to be, yeah, a progression. And then they might wind down for a little bit and then back up
Right. Yeah, I've
to,
heard
yeah,
those too. Like,
yeah.
but those two are just so different from all the past serial killers where they do like they have like a
A track record of bad
what do you
things.
call that, like a hibernation period,
Right.
like
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
like it's like
Yeah.
they'll kill someone and then they wait like 3-4 months and then they like do it again, but
Do
then
it again.
sometimes they like escalate, like
Right.
it just gets quicker and quicker.
Yeah. 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 And you're right. But
What's the trigger? Like, what is it? Like, I'm
what
so
is it? And I can't remember who brought it up earlier, but social media, you
yeah.
know, that people get access and can track and can do so many different
And it
things
makes
at
it
this
like
point.
really easy to feed that obsession that way too.
Yes, it does. And I mean, there's chat rooms now that are all twisted and I don't know. I don't even know what the black web is or dark web, or I don't want any part of that one. But they go places where there's other people that are like-minded. And
Mhm.
it's, I guess if we ever figured out what they were thinking, we'd have to be
Right.
as twisted as
Right. We
them.
wouldn't be sitting here
Exactly. Yeah.
if we knew the
See
answers
here.
to all these questions.
The guy admits he was wearing those clothes the very first day after they met, never talked again until right before his arrest. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Richard Allen. Mm. And I don't know, maybe it has to do with, maybe it comes down to substance abuse or something along those lines.
Yeah.
You know, we don't know. He's got an addictable personality.
Mhm.
So could that be what it is? The Dark Web, Silk Road, another amazing story, wild. Okay, that's a book or a show?
Mm. I want the answers. Like,
Oh, that's
so
what it
many
comes down
questions,
to.
and
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
feel
that's
like some of them are not going to get answered anytime soon.
right? And I think you're right. Like, I do believe, I think it was you that said earlier that they're just going to seal most of the information or redact everything. So I thought it might be interesting to listen to him for a few minutes talk about where he thinks this is going.
Tonight, Bryan Kohberger's childhood friend Thomas speaking to ABC News, describing the Idaho murder suspect as mean in high school, saying Bryan was eager to be seen as dominant.
He would just like put me in, he would like grapple me and like put me in headlocks and arm bars and stuff like that.
Kohberger's family releasing a statement which reads in part, "First and foremost, we care deeply for the 4 families who have lost their precious children. There are no words that can adequately express the sadness we feel. We have fully cooperated with law enforcement agencies in an attempt to seek the truth and promote his presumption of innocence." The small community in Moscow terrified for weeks after roommates Kaylee Gonzalez, Madison Mogan, Xana Kernodle, and her boyfriend Ethan Chapin were found stabbed to death in their off-campus home in mid-November. Kohberger's lawyer saying Bryan's father flew from his home in the Poconos to Washington State for a pre-planned cross-country road trip back home to Pennsylvania for Christmas in that white Hyundai Elantra.
Driving cross country took them approximately 2.5 days. Mr. Kohberger indicated that Bryan was acting normal and not out of character on the drive back from Washington.
The car seized from the Kohberger's home after Bryan was arrested early Friday morning. The Monroe County Chief Public Defender saying Kohberger is eager to return to Idaho and be exonerated. Police in Moscow say they're confident they arrested the only person responsible for the murders. Still, they're searching for a murder weapon described as a fixed blade knife. The police chief saying the community has a name and a face, and now they're hoping more people will come forward with information.
We have a lot of work to do still. We still have a lot of pieces we can put together. That's why we're still asking people, if you have known this individual.
Uh-oh. Come on, come on. Come on. What's it doing? Well, okay.
To do still.
Oh, there we go.
We still have a lot of pieces we have to put together. That's why we're still asking people, if you have known this individual, contact us.
And Chief Fry telling me that within an hour of releasing Kohberger's name, more than 400 tips poured in. Kohberger's lawyer also confirming to us that he remained there in Pullman, working towards his PhD until mid-December. He's now set to face a judge in Pennsylvania Tuesday and is hoping to be quickly extradited to Idaho after that. Kana Whitworth, ABC News, Philadelphia.
So, yeah, they are saying that it's probably just him.
I mean, I hope it is just him.
I know.
I don't doubt that it is, just from a little bit that I've caught about his like personality.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you think about this Reddit stuff that's been going around? Do you think that he was on there? Do you think he was the guy that was giving all that information, saying that he was giving secondhand knowledge? Do you think there's a possibility that was him?
Oh, that thing on TikTok.
Yeah.
The information that guy was saying was very specific.
It sure was. Yeah, it sure was.
And if he's a relative to an actual, because he made it seem the way he spoke that he was like a relative to one of the detectives, maybe one of the people working in the case.
Yeah.
If that's true, that person should be fired, or at least reprimanded, because
fired is good when you're
that
doing...
is not something you want to release to anyone. Like,
exactly. I'm trying to see if I can find a picture or a video of
evil exists. Evil _ exists. he has a TikTok in one of his videos.
Okay. Okay.
It's just, I don't know, the info that he gave was, it sounded like something only the person who actually did it would know.
That's pretty much what I thought. That's pretty
Because
much what
even
I thought.
detectives they can speculate, but like that was very specific.
Sure was. It sure was. Okay, let me see here. I'm looking.
I have it.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give you the floor. Let's see here.
So this is Evil Exists. If you guys aren't subscribed, I like his videos. They're all very short and to the point. Gives the info you want to hear, and I like it.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's awesome. Okay.
You hear it?
Not so much.
You guys hear it okay?
No.
You can't?
No.
Oh, no. Let's try it this way. Can you hear it now?
I cannot.
All right. Well, how about this? I'll send it to you, and you can play it. I just dropped it in the chat.
Okay. How come it won't let me?
Pick it up.
How come it? No, it doesn't let me.
I'll drop it in Discord.
Okay. Markets I got? No.
No.
Don't do it. Okay, I think what I'll do is I'll just go into our Discord. Okay, so
Bryan Kohberger, currently in custody, and is the only suspect in the killings of the 4 Idaho students. He wants to be transported to Idaho, and is eager to be exonerated. I'm sorry, but I feel like he is arrogant and still believes he is going to get away with this. They have genetic material found at the scene that links him to these killings, but a lot more will come out in court, and I'll be waiting for all those details. I also believe that he may be a narcissist, which makes him think he is. I think he would have enjoyed a public manhunt even. Kohberger, take a listen.
Hey there, to those of you interested in hearing this report.
So this is the fellow that they're questioning as to whether or not this could be that Bryan Kohberger. So I'm just going to go through a little bit and check the rest out at his site. It's awesome.
I just want to let you know that I'm a relative of someone inside the investigation into the quadruple homicide in Idaho. I don't want to be any more specific than that because I don't want to put anybody. I'm about to tell you a secondhand but it is from what I believe to be a very reliable source. Again, this can only be considered a rumor, as I never planned on posting any of this information out of respect for the victims' families. However, now that one of the victims' fathers has released some of the gruesome investigative theory, as you know, the two women were found in the same bed, but with similar wounds. That's what's being reported. That's not exactly 100% true, at least in regard to the fact that they weren't that were delivered with extremely aggressive force, so much so that the victim's liver and lungs were destroyed. Here's the theory.
So this is him talking about, that was actually Kaylee that he was speaking about.
That's happening. They definitely think it was a man because of the force of the wounds. The person must have been very strong. They think the man came into the room after doing what they did on the second floor. They went upstairs. The person cleanly and quietly unalived the first victim. The second victim awoke and tried to run.
Sorry, this is Kaylee.
They believe that the man possibly grabbed her, and she screamed loudly, apparently.
So this is where it's interesting. I will look for the picture, but there is a side-by-side of this person and this Bryan guy. And I tell you what, the ears look the same, the hair looks the same. I'd like to know if he's got a MacBook Pro. I noticed he was wearing something on his wrist. So there's some things I would like to know about this guy.
The man then harmed her. And the reason the wounds were of such force, he was delivering it quickly and forcibly to quiet her, which I apologize for how, I know it's disturbing, but anyway, how do we know that she screamed? Because 3 individuals reported hearing a scream between 3:45 and 4 o'clock. That's why the police have such a specific time frame as to when. Yet they had a very specific time frame. And after reviewing area, and they have an audio file I haven't heard it, but I was told a clear.
So yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. Check them out and tell me what you think of it. Let me know if you think that is a possibility.
I'd like to hear Bryan's voice. I'd like to hear his actual voice. I mean, the way that guy, whoever this person is, speaking on this TikTok video is also very well spoken. Right. You can tell that they're readers for sure. Their use of words is very well structured.
Absolutely. I'd pump these guys with the truth serum, try to unlock what makes sense these psychopaths, find out what makes these sick psychopaths tick. But human rights people get upset. But you know what? I mean, I don't know. I don't mean to be rude, but
technically exist, right? Wink.
Well, no, they should turn into human guinea pigs. We need to know what makes these guys tick. So if they can cure all these things that they're trying to cure and are curing, how come they can't figure out the mind a little bit better? I know it's a big puzzle, but at the same time, there's warning signs. There's always warning signs. So, now a person has to look basically anywhere this guy has been in the last, he's 28. Oh shit. Up to 15 years ago, 10 anyways.
What I still want to know what he did in high school. I want to go all the way back. Like,
Absolutely. And yeah, even before, like, how was he raised? Like, was there alcohol, pills? What was in his vicinity growing up?
mhm.
You know? And yeah, he speaks with such conviction as right. He doesn't talk like he's getting it secondhand.
Yeah.
Not
And
in
he
my
al-
mind, anyways.
and he like if you actually like pay attention to the way he speaks, he almost strays away from that too.
Mhm.
Like he went from saying, "Oh
Mhm.
yeah, I have," like it's secondhand knowledge, but then all of a sudden, like it kind of shifted to its
Yeah,
first person account. Like
that exactly. Exactly.
it's creepy.
Yeah,
Very creepy.
it's so creepy. And the more that comes out, like when we start learning how long he was actually following these kids and where was he, that is creepy. Like, was he literally standing in that parking lot, staring in that bedroom where Maddie was? Like, it was right there. He could, anywhere in those trees, he could have hung out. And
And that's what I'm interested in. Like if his cell phone data just shows him at the restaurant, or he's at just so happens to be at the same bar that they're at or whatnot, those things
yeah,
easily explainable. But if he's like on top of their house on a
yeah,
daily basis,
yeah,
please
yeah,
give me an explanation for that. Do you have a
exactly.
girlfriend that lives next door? Do you have a relative?
Yeah.
Do your buddies live here? Like what?
Yeah, how often was that car in the vicinity? Because it is ridiculous that he actually brought his vehicle, all the being so bright. Why did he park his vehicle in front of that house? That is one of the dumbest moves you could have made.
Does he have another vehicle?
I don't know about that. They just said that the dad came so that they could drive back. But that I don't know. It's just not smart. Like from what I heard, he parked right at the end of that driveway. What?
That would be insane. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely insane. So I'm thinking, like, if he had somebody that was there, like very close, then maybe it's okay to bring that car around if it's been around lots before.
right.
But to just bring it the night that you're going to go in and attack all of these kids, like, that was not a brilliant move.
No.
No.
And you would think like if he was,
That's what I heard.
if this is premeditated, right? Like if it's premeditated and he was really stalking them, you would think that he'd probably also scope the area. I mean, you canvas, you do a recon of where are the cameras, who has a camera, can they be disabled? I mean, maybe I'm just giving way too many tips. I probably sound like I'm crazy.
It's
But he
just
would have done that if he's that smart, right? He would have done
absolutely. And it sounds like they literally have his phone in the same spots when the girls were going his. So yeah, I'm the same as you. I want to go looking through that footage from the bar or the pictures anyway, see what we can find.
Yeah.
Maybe he's there, like I said, the drug truck, but I'm concerned about that car that's in that window, right? That's one that bothers me, is that white car that seemed to be creeping by there. You and I looked at that pretty good.
Yeah. And I did some creeping of myself. You guys are right. Like stalking is way too easy these days. I went through their Instagram photos. And there's a couple where it's Maddie and Kaylee, and they're standing out on the deck with those cute little dresses and like hugging. I think Xana is in a couple of them.
Yeah.
And if you look in the back through the trees, there's a white car sitting there. Is it an Elantra? I don't know, but like
I seen that picture. Yeah, I seen that. And it's just, you can barely see it in the trees there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not, it's all speculation. I don't know if that's an Elantra or not, but it's curious, you know, like,
Yeah.
you start thinking
Yeah.
about all these possibilities.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And right now, there's so many different rabbit holes we can go down until we learn just that little bit more. You know, right now, I think what things I want to look for is find out who was in that house. I'm very curious about that house. And I'm curious about where there's footage between where the parents are and where he was going to uni. I need my passport. Like, this is like, right? Yeah. Yeah. This is
I
too
want
easy
to,
to.
first thing I'm jumping into, the first rabbit hole I'm jumping into is
Oh, I'm sorry. God.
looking into the possible past crimes, what has been going on in Pennsylvania. That's the first thing I'm jumping into. But I am curious about footage, the surveillance footage, you know, the camera that caught them from the corner club to the truck.
Yeah.
I want to know if there's more footage there. The cars passing by, driving by.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Where would the person get that?
From the business.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Not that easy.
Yeah. Well, it's not that easy. I mean, I definitely can't accomplish that. No.
Oh my goodness. Well, is there anything else you guys want to take a look at, or Mexi, anything else we should touch on?
No, I'm gonna do some research on that. I'm gonna like, and if any interesting things pop up, like crimes and reports, I'll be sure to share those, because
absolutely. Yeah, anything that comes out, if it'll be in a stream or a video, probably a stream. Christmas is over, and thank you, James. Christmas is over, so a person can get back into our routine. We can do our Wednesdays and Saturdays, what the hells, and
what the Franky.
What the Franky. Oh, damn, I love that. Yeah, that was good. That was good. Okay, well, if that's everything, I guess we'll just say it. Yeah, Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year. I hope everyone had a good Christmas.
Yeah. Hope Santa was nice.
Yeah.
Hope the weather is good.
Mm-hmm.
Lock your doors at night.
Okay,
guys.
Yes, we'll
Thanks
talk about
again.
Domine someday for sure.
Right.
Others, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you guys, we will absolutely see you in the next one.